All Blacks and Wales, 54 points to 16. A lot of people called it. I didn't call it. I thought it would be closer. It's not. A lot of the pundits called it. A lot of you guys in the comments called it. 54 points to 16. That's a proper hiding. This is one of those times when I should listen to my old man, because he said after 60 minutes, that'll be when the All Blacks really kind of run away with the game. And sure enough, more than half the tries come after the hour mark. But yeah, we'll go through some of the key events, some of the stats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on how this game went. Yeah, there were some really good tries. If you haven't seen the highlights, I would recommend going to have a look at those, because some of them are just proper brilliance and skill. It starts off with a bit of a tense start, kind of tentative as you would expect. The two sides kind of feeling each other out, but it's Bodie who gets an intercept, like we did it to Australia countless times. This time it is to Wales. Bowden picks Anscombe's pocket for the first try, so it's a nice lead to the All Blacks, 7 points to 0. Wales, though, down the other end, get a nice settler. They kick a penalty to make it 7-3. I think it was Basham who had a pretty solid effort, especially at the breakdown. He wins a penalty. So, yeah, Wales kind of settle things down after conceding early, so it's 7 points to 3. They almost had a 50-22, but the All Blacks kind of managed to scramble their way out of that one. And Bodie escapes a potential yellow card for going for an intercept. Now, the deliberate knockdown from intercepts is one that's a bugbear of many fans, because you never really seem to know if it's going to be a penalty, a yellow card, or a penalty and a yellow card and a penalty try. You know what I mean? Like, it can be... It's one of those ones where if it had been yellow carded, I wouldn't have been too surprised, because Bodie does go for the intercept one-handed, which is a gamble, and he doesn't get it. But I guess because Wales are still in their own half, there's not a heck of a lot to him. But either way, he gets penalised for a deliberate knockdown. You've seen them get penalised for that heaps of times, and yellow carded sometimes. So either way, the first one he gets and it's a try. Second one he doesn't get and it's a deliberate knockdown. So yeah, penalty for Wales. They're not really able to do anything with that penalty though, Wales. Their line out was a bit frustrating in this game. I mean, I looked at the final stats and it's 7 from 9, so it's only 2 that Wales mess up. But both times they mess up their own line out, it's in All Blacks territory. And it's an absolute let off the hook for the All Blacks guys, which is quite frustrating, because you can't be letting the All Blacks guys off the hook, because you know if you give them chances, they will often pounce. So yeah, kind of brutal stuff. All Blacks managed to win a breakdown penalty on 18 minutes, and they opted for 3. So they were definitely, showing this Welsh side, who'd been kind of, arm wrestling with them up until this point, full respect, because they weren't just opting for touch. So yeah, they did opt for the 3. And then unfortunately, Alan Wynne-Jones looks to have done that same injury, at least at the way he was holding his arm, as he did in the lead up to the Lions tour, man. He goes in for a tackle on Big Geordie Barrett. Comes off with a limp arm, could be another dislocation. We'll have to wait and see. So it's an unfortunate one for him to end his, his record-breaking match as the most capped player for any one nation. So yeah, and bad news, because like Wales' side is already without some of their experienced guys in this game, and you've just lost like 150 out of your 700 odd caps that you've got in the side. So yeah, a fair bit of leadership gone. All Blacks breakdown penalty again. And Geordie Barrett has a long shot, but that one he misses. So, some of the All Blacks, they don't often go for the ball at the breakdown, but when they would go for it, they would absolutely flood the breakdown and try to win that penalty. So that one they did. But, yeah, Wales had been March 10 as well for descent, so they opened it up for Geordie to take that long shot, but he missed it. A weird call on 23 minutes where the TMO gets involved for Josh Adams and Geordie Barrett competing for a high ball, and I was just like, come on, man, leave it alone. They end up penalising Adams for, like, overshooting the ball, but, like, that's the kind of, for God's sake, leave it alone. Don't stop the game for that kind of nonsense stuff. I mean, they're probably there, right? Technically, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like worth stopping the game for that one. Keep the game moving. You don't need to stop the game to look at an aerial contest, which looks like the same kind of aerial contest you see 100 times a year watching rugby. But anyway, that was what it was. Fortunately, because it would have been a brutal one, the All Blacks don't get a try from the resulting penalty. Laulala goes close. He knocks the ball on right before the goal line. but they still do manage to kick a 3-pointer because they had advantage, so it's 13-3. So that aerial contest does end up costing Wales 3 points. All Black scrum continues to kind of dominate, but Wales's defence is able to hold. They're put under a fair bit of pressure for an extended period in that kind of final 10 minutes of that first half, but they're able to hold a couple of breakdown penalties, and it's encouraging signs for Wales because the line out and the scrum in the first half haven't been kind of optimal. It does start raining as well in that final 10 minutes. The roof's open, so it makes the ball a wee bit slipperier, but eventually the All Blacks do crack it. Perenara gets a try on 34 minutes, so it's 34 minutes before the All Blacks get that kind of first try where they've worked pressure and managed to build a try. The Barrett one's an intercept, which you could argue is defensive pressure as well, but first offensive pressure for the All Blacks, it takes 34 minutes. So they do crack the Welsh defence on that 34. I think it's Savia who gets the initial kind of half line break, and then he offloads to Perenara. So it's a good All Blacks try, and it was coming. So it's 18 points to 3. Wales have another overthrow at the line out at 36 minutes, which would have been a chance to hit back, but they do get a chance to hit back because Laulala ends up getting yellow carded. And it's one that'll divide opinion as well. Ross Moriarty goes in with a carry. He's so low. He's bent over very low. And he gets a shot to the head. Some people will say that should be a red card because it's a shot to the head. Some people will say, man, he's carrying that low. You shouldn't even penalise him. But it's a yellow card. For me, it's consistent with everything else I've seen this year. If guys get hit in the head with an arm, especially if it's not a wrap, they're going to say red card. If the guy's low, they're going to mitigate it down to yellow. And so this one proves. So I think that one kind of followed everything else we've seen. Whether you agree with it or not, I think it's consistent. The laws don't account for how low a player carries other than it mitigates it, as far as I know. So there you go. Can Wales get some points during the yellow card? They do kick a penalty right before half time. And so they go in with 6 points on the board. The run meters are close at halftime, man. 220 to 218 to Wales, 50-50 territory. Wales have had 50-50 possession. Wales have had slightly more territory. Wales are tackling at 92%, so they have managed to keep the All Blacks out for large periods. The All Blacks are at 89%. Penalties conceded 8-7, so Wales with one more. So it's tight stuff at halftime. Second half, Papali'i is good at the breakdown, wins the All Blacks a penalty, which Geordie duly slots. So it's 21-9, and it's 3 points apiece during the yellow card. So Wales don't get any points during the yellow card. It's a bit of 3 points apiece for Wales is a loss, I would say, in the yellow card. You at least want to be scoring more points than your opposition. Maybe you need to get, I think 7 is generally accepted as a good return from a yellow card, but it's a 0, essentially. And then to crack things open, Will Jordan, honest to goodness, man, that guy, 54 minutes. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. His try, it's from nothing, man. He gets the ball from a kick return. He looks up, there's 3 Welsh defenders in front of him. He's virtually from a standing start. Just picks the optimal line to run between 2 of them. Dinks it over the top. Thomas Williams has to turn, and he's just too quick. And the ball even just sits up perfectly for him. It's like proper bit of individual brilliance from Will Jordan. He makes it look unbelievably easy, which is filthy. And it's 28 points to 9. But Wales, on 61 minutes, when they did need the try, they absolutely needed the try to get this kind of game back to being game on. They got it. They got it through Johnny Williams, and it was like the line out finally got taken. The maul was steady. They get advantage. They spin it. Priestland, who's come on for Anscombe, dinks a little ball through. There's 3 guys there for Wales. I think it's Lane, Davis, Jonathan Davis, and Johnny Williams is the first one to get to it. But it's a really well-worked try. And it's, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe this is game on. Right? The defence for Wales has been holding enough. Like, it's taken an intercept, a bit of Will Jordan brilliance, and like one kind of team try for the All Blacks to get their 3. Wales are maybe back in this, but I don't know what it is. Maybe that seems to ignite a fire under the All Blacks guys. Maybe it's just the hour mark and guys are getting tired. Maybe it's the substitutes kind of telling for the All Blacks as they're able to bring on some more guys. I don't know, but the All Blacks just start to run riot. Papali'i gets the first one. That one's maybe a bit of a lucky one because it's a messy lineup from the All Blacks, but he's able to spin over and stretch out. Thomas Williams brings him down, but he's got long enough arms to reach out for the try line. 35-16, and brutal because Wales have just scored and the All Blacks hit straight back. And then Reese's one, like, again, filthy highlight reel stuff. Like, Reese's one is just sickeningly beautiful skills. He gets the ball, passes it to Rico from the deck. Rico gets it to Savia. Savia gets it back to Reese. Well, there's nothing much you can do about that one. 42-16. ALB gets one on 71. And that one is like Priestland shoots out of the line to try and shut the move down before they can get it wide. But Bodie just basketball passes it over his head. So that means there's space out wide. And sure enough, ALB takes that one. And then Bodie, after he's just been named man of the match, gets an intercept as McNichol's looking to make a break. Like, Wales are going to get a consolation try at the death. Nah. Bodie nicks that one as well to score one right at the death in his 100th test. Man of the match. Like, what a game for him. 54 points to 16. So, man, after that Johnny Williams try, it just all goes to custard and the All Blacks bring it up another gear. Like, it's brutal stuff, man. They're relentless. Honestly, relentless. Run meters finished 536 to 348, so the All Blacks end up dominating. The position and territory stats are actually relatively even. Clean breaks actually relatively even, 5-4, bizarrely enough. But defenders beaten is 27-15, so pretty hefty. Penalties conceded 10-11, so pretty tight. Actually, pretty low count for the game for the most part. McNichol finishes with 115 metres. Basham has 4 defenders beaten, so good shift from him. Missed a couple of tackles, but I thought he was busy in a big game for him early on in his Wales career. Beauden Barrett, though, 99 run metres, 2 clean breaks, 2 defenders beaten. Papali'i good at the breakdown, 11 from 11 tackles. Reese had a good impact. Savia was phenomenal. Like, what do you say, man? 54 points to 16. It's a big old win, and it's a bit of a statement from the All Blacks. What can we say? The All Blacks got Italy next week. If you're Italy, that's ominous. Wales, obviously, they'll be back with their Premiership guys next week, which will be good news. They've got South Africa, which will be an all different kind of test for them, but it'll be a big test nonetheless. You guys let me know your thoughts on the game. As I said, it was a bit of a blowout. My old man was right in that it was the final 20 that was the difference. A lot of the pundits called it. I was hoping for a bit closer, but I mean, there's still positives to take, even if you can stomach a 54-16 loss for Wales in the likes of guys like Basham, getting some proper minutes against this All Blacks team. So, yeah, man, like I said, All Blacks guys, heaps of skills, heaps of stuff to be happy about. Retallick maybe got an injury, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Likewise, Alan Jones, we'll wait and see what the diagnosis is for those guys. Moriarty did go off after that shot to the head, so we'll wait and see. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts. If you want to do me a favor, it'd be kind of you to like the video because that helps with YouTube's algorithm stuff. But otherwise, take care, guys, and I will talk to you again soon. See you later. Bye.